you tell I've been practicing that one? Guys, thanks for tuning in. I got a couple of things I want to go over with you today. Hoping to kind of bring you up to speed, sort of what's happening in the channel, what's happening with my swing. Let's get started. This is going to kind of be a special episode. Stick around to the end of the video. I've got a special announcement to make. Hopefully it's going to be some really good news. All of your support throughout this whole endeavor. We've been going for almost 2 years now. Your support and your comments have really driven me forward and helped me along so much. I hope that I'm helping you as much as you all are helping me. Before we go further, I want to show you one thing. I got my driver regripped finally. It's the Jumbo Golf Pride Tour Rack, really tacky. I've just done it in the driver right now, and I'm gonna see how it works before I apply it to all the rest of my clubs. But check this out. I got a new head cover for it, and check this out. Custom paint job on the M2, the 23 to line the ball up, the Air Jordan Jumpman symbol, the red paint. I'll be testing this bad boy out this week with the custom paint job and the new grip. Hoping to take it out on the course really soon and try out the game golf system as well. Be on the lookout for those videos. I'm going to start showing you some of the stuff off of my game golf stats in the Sundays episodes so you can watch my progress on there. I'll share some of my stats and things once I get enough established with game golf. All of that great data and information, I'm going to share all of that with you. It's going to be pretty neat. Now, first things first, let's not get too serious, okay? Let's start off a little light here. I want to kind of share a little observation that I've made here in the last few days that maybe it's a good swing thought for you guys going forward. Maybe it's a good sort of intention that you can work with and put into your practice and see if it bears any fruit for you. All right, I've got a pitching wedge in hand. I'm just warming up. A lot of what Sean talks about has to do with task-oriented sort of focus, to be able to take yourself away from a golf swing almost and put your brain and your body into positions and situations and actions that are more familiar with our day-to-day lives. One analogy, one task that I can really relate to is swinging a large hammer, a sledgehammer. And if you've seen a lot of Sean's videos, you know that he uses small mini sledgehammers and then large full-size sledgehammers in a lot of his videos as well. And he talks about heaving them back and then just swinging it and letting the hammer swing. I want to go a little bit deeper into that. Kind of like Sean says, if you're using it all day long, you're not just going to strike something once or twice. If you have to do it for a prolonged period of time, one of the big things with a sledgehammer in your hand when you're banging on a giant rock or a block or even a metal stake or a wooden stake is the shock running up the handle of that sledgehammer. If you take it up and you heave it up into place, and then you're going to pound down on something, you would kind of do it like an axe or a sledgehammer. You'd have your split grip, you take it back behind you, and then your intention is to drive down, let's say, and then you would heave it up to the top, your hands would come together, and then bang, you would unload on it. In that delivery, there is this strike that happens where your hands have to be lower than the head of the sledgehammer itself in order to really drive the energy that you've stored up, the mass that you've stored up in that sledgehammer's head, and deliver it into your intended target. Whereas if you take it up and you release at an angle like that and your hands are not leading, you will feel a more glancing strike rather than a dead blow to your intended target, and the shock will just reverberate throughout your bones, and that pain will be the great teacher to make sure that when you drive the hammer down, your hands are ahead or parallel with your intended target and the head of the sledgehammer. Again, you want to do something that is going to be easily repeatable, but at the same time, it's not going to put wear and tear and undue strain on your muscles and your bones. When I get the hammer up from here, I've done my work. Now, it's a matter of feeling gravity, and from what a lot of you were telling me in the comments on the last video, angular momentum, and allowing that sledgehammer to fall, and then you are going to come down with it and let the hammer drop. Let the hammer drop onto the object, and boom, all of that mass is being delivered. There's a lot of talk about club head speed. I know with all of these things that we can measure on TrackMan and GC Quad, and all of these launch monitors that we have now, speed is the number one thing. And speed, of course, is a very important part of it. But I think in listening to a lot of the teachers out there, some people that have a better understanding of physics know about mass, and the mass that is being delivered to the golf ball, in the case of the sledgehammer and the stone, that impact that is made, that mass is really transferring energy into that object. So now if I try to apply those principles to striking a golf ball with a golf club, obviously golf clubs don't weigh nearly as much as sledgehammers, and golf balls are a lot smaller than the stones you're going to be trying to hit with that sledgehammer. But the principles should apply, and the speed and the weight combined of this club coming down should deliver a ton of mass, and we want to maximize the amount of mass that we're applying to the golf ball to get a good solid strike. If I set up to the golf ball, and then I sort of think of that, I want to imagine that this club is a sledgehammer. It's really heavy. I need to put my body and my legs into the heave up to the top. If I can heave it up like it weighs a lot, and then I'm just dropping with it and dropping the hammer. For the purposes of this video, I'm going to take this TaylorMade logo right here, and I want to try to apply the center of the club face and paste it right there. Kind of goes back to that driving the nail video that I put up. Go check that one out. Driving the nail so that you're catching it with a downward blow. Now, it doesn't mean that you swing and make an effort to swing down. You want to drop the hammer on that spot. And then when I set up, I want my intention to be to heave this sledgehammer up and drop that hammer right on that spot to squirt the ball out toward the target. Not even really concerned with follow through when I'm striking this way. Wow, the compression is off the charts. And honestly, this might vary a little bit from what Sean's been teaching for so long, where his intention is to throw the club down the fairway. I'm not even thinking about anything after any sort of conscious action that I'm making to throw at the target. I'm thinking about dropping the hammer right on the back of the ball in the context of the ball squirting out, the ball getting squeezed through the door frame in that direction. So that's one of the things I've been working on. I just wanted to share that with you guys. Give it a shot. Try it out. Take it to the range. Take it to your indoor home workout space. Try it. Without further delay, I would like to announce that as of this point, I believe I may be sticking with the Wisdom in Golf approach to the golf swing for the foreseeable future. Now, if any of you have been following the channel, you know that over the course of the last 2 years, I have reviewed multiple systems to which I have created different blocks of videos dedicated to my work with each particular system for a certain amount of time. And those amounts of time were really just they weren't predetermined. I just kind of went with it for as long as I felt like I needed to in order to get sort of an understanding of the system and how I work with it, and whether or not it was going to give me and you any benefit in following that course of study. Off camera, I have also studied a lot of different ways that I actually haven't committed anything to video. I haven't filmed it and put out videos on it, but I've read plenty of things, I've watched plenty of things, I've talked to a lot of different people, just basically gone through a whole galaxy of different approaches and ways of striking the golf ball, and ways to play, ways to hold a club, ways to take it to the top, different setups, all of these things. And after doing so, it just seems like the best choice for me, the best path forward, is an uncomplicated, very simple, very common sense and logical approach to the game of golf and how to swing a golf club and hit a golf ball It just doesn't seem like it has to be an overly complicated act. Conventional golf never really did anything for me. I followed that path for years, as many of you out there have, as most of the golfing population has. And I find that conventional golf, it just requires too much time, too much maintenance in order to produce decent results. You have to constantly stay familiar with it. You have to be playing multiple times a week. You have to be practicing multiple times a week. I'm not saying that it's not worth it, and I'm not saying that it's not effective. Clearly it's effective. A lot of the guys on tour are using conventional golf methods, but those guys have every single day, all day, for months and years, with coaches and trainers at their beck and call in order to perfect all of these different biomechanical sort of muscle memory training techniques. And we just don't have that. And I don't think that we would put that much time into playing basketball with our buddies, or going out to play tennis, or throwing horseshoes, or playing disc golf. I just don't think we would put that much time and effort into just maintaining to try and be able to throw a disc or throw a ball. We don't put that much time into it. So why are we doing that with golf? I don't think it has to be that complicated. And that's why I believe that the task-oriented, intentional way that Sean goes about presenting this is it's just the best. You're not fighting any instinct that you have. You're harnessing your instincts. That instinct to make sure that you get your body out of the way. That's an instinct that you don't have to learn, and you're not fighting it. You're actually employing that in the golf swing. To heave something heavy up above you to allow it to come back down, that is a very natural thing. You're thinking about cutting grass into a direction, thinking about driving a nail into a door frame, thinking about throwing something down toward an intended target. All of those things are totally relatable. They are very simplistic in their nature. They have no need to involve all of these internal biomechanical thoughts and checklists to go through. Now that said, it's not a cure-all. It's not a miracle drug. It still takes some practice. It still takes some time and some effort to sort of get yourself in this discipline and go forward. And that's what I've been working on. And I got to tell you, I've been making progress every week. Even with the weather being bad, working indoors, not being able to play as much, I know that come springtime, I'm really going to have a great time out on the golf course, and that my scores and that my performance and my happiness levels should be higher than they have been in past years. And at the end of it, isn't that what we're really looking for? Aren't we really looking to enjoy something more, even if it's not golf? That's why a lot of us take up golf, is to go out and have fun. And if it's not fun, if it's overly complicated and it takes all of this maintenance and all of this effort in order to just get to somewhere that resembles decent golf, I mean, isn't that really defeating the purpose? So I think for now, this is what I'm sticking with. And I know a lot of you are going to say, well, now you can't be the golf test dummy. Now you're just a golf dummy. To that, I would say this. I'm still going to be testing out all sorts of different stuff. I'm constantly testing out grips, or I'm testing out setups. And all of those things can take place in this wisdom in golf sort of approach. It's a philosophy that I'm adopting as my core. But that doesn't mean that I can't add my own little nuances, or that I can't make little changes here and there and tweak things and try out different things to see if they work. I'll still be doing all of that. But for now, I think I'm sticking with the wisdom in golf approach. If you've been watching and following along with my videos, I hope that in some way my progress has helped to inspire you to go out and find your own progress. I appreciate each and every one of you guys watching the videos. Thanks so much for all the positivity and the engagement that you give me in the form of comments and thumbs up, subscribing to the channel and everything like that, watching the videos, taking it all in, and just supporting me and the channel as a whole. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video.